Okay, we can get started now. Today is July the 5th, and thank you everyone for coming. And if you would stand and we'll pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have any guests or new members, please? Don't we have a new member? Yes. Can someone can you take a microphone up to her? Introduce yourself. Right here. Just introduce yourself and say hi. Oh, you have to turn it on. The little button. There you go. Talk in. Okay. And I want to let everyone know that this is her first time here, but she volunteered to sell tickets tonight. So thank you so much. That's the kind of volunteer we need. Okay. Any guests tonight? Yes. Okay, great. Well, glad to have you back. And I hope you get a lot out of our meeting. Okay, thank you. Okay, I have a little news to pass along to everyone. The information over the next couple of 2 or 3 slides is from a meeting that I participated in yesterday from Tech for Senior. And this was their cyber news or security section. And what we're going to be talking about later tonight is security with email. But one thing that has popped up is, you know, you have facial recognition on your phone and on what is it, Windows Hello and all of that to open things up. Well, Australia has taken it a step further. In order to prevent the spread of COVID, they have decided that anytime that you are just at random, they will call your phone or whatever and find out where you are. If you are not at home where you're supposed to be, then they will send someone to arrest you. So facial recognition is being used for many different things. And Australia is the only country so far that has taken it to this level, but that's kind of scary. And the rest of the world is kind of up in arms about it. But this was the first I had heard of it, and I thought it was worth passing along. So think about it when you do that facial recognition. Another thing to be cautious of, there is a new malware called Zuarat that is a product of nation state hackers and is giving the capabilities and advanced stealth. It can go in stealthily and come in and infect your computer. And so the only way to get rid of this, have you noticed recently any pop-ups that say your computer has been taken over and don't close anything down, because if you do, you can't restart it, and oh, by the way, you may owe us money to get your computer back? Immediately go into Control-Alt-Delete or down on your taskbar and do a right click and select Task Manager. Once you get into Task Manager, close the browser that's coming up in, close that down, do a complete restart. I would go in and do my anti-spyware, super anti-spyware, Malwarebytes, WiseDisk Cleaner, do a complete shutdown, reboot, and then you should be fine. But this will hide in the recesses of your computer and could grab hold. And if you don't wipe it out, it can come back. So, okay. And the other thing is that there is a Apple and Google and Mozilla Firefox have some other things that they are doing for tracking. And so the World Wide Web Coalition Consortium is fighting against those companies to maintain your privacy. So at least we're getting some benefit out of the, the consortium to help us, as opposed to further confine our ability to do things and disseminate information to everyone out there. So I just thought those 3 slides were worth sharing with you. Okay, give you a little statistics on what we've been able to accomplish this year. Our in-office service tickets. Now we are very cautious or conservative on our estimates. We estimate during the season that we were doing like 15 walk-ins a week. Well, we may do 15 walk-ins a day and in some weeks, but we're very cautious in our estimates, and we've dropped that down to 10 now per week. And I would say we're still doing anywhere from 15 to 20 a week at least, even during the summer months. But we wanted to be very cautious. So with those estimates of 15 a week during the busy season and 10 during the summer season, we have done 123, and I did a couple of them today as walk-ins. These are people who want to get rid of some malware, or they have a quick question that they're not able to be able to resolve. One person that I helped today had a problem. He said he could send email from every computer in his house except this one, and it wouldn't accept email. Now, he may have been attacked by that virus that we just talked about, or the actually what I found was, when I did some searching and ran the Super Anna spyware, I found that he had a device driver helper app on his computer. Now, what those do, they say, we're going to keep all your drivers up to date, but most of those aren't really helping you. They're actually embedding software that will hurt you. And I think that was his issue. But we took that out. We did some other scans, and I told him that when he went home, to run those scans and then turn the machine off, turn it back on, see if he can send an email. We were successful in sending an email, forwarding an email to me in the office, but he couldn't do it from his own network at home. And that's why I thought it had to be in his modem and router situation. So I said, if that doesn't work, then, and it was probably that driver that was there, that driver app that was blocking something. It said, if that doesn't work, then reset your modem, turn it off for, a few minutes, turn it back on. After 10 minutes, it should be rebooted and everything should be back. Try forwarding an email again, see if it fixes it. If that doesn't work, then maybe we do have something else we need to check. But simple things to repair your machine can get you out of trouble. So walk-in service, we do an awful lot of stuff for a walk-in service. It's not just really simple things, it's some complicated things too. Or I'm sorry, the walk-in, the in-service tickets is 123. The 320 is the walk-in service for the year. Refurbished computers, this has not changed much since last month. We've completed 85 rebuilds of computers, and we've actually delivered 72. Now, the reason why we haven't had much of an increase since last month is school's out. And where do these computers go? we build them, we refurbish them and give them to school children. We also give them to homeless people and to needy veterans. So that's primarily where we are sending them. And our membership is staying fairly steady at a 354. The reason I have this particular section highlighted in our in-office technical support is that George, this is his last night for a while. He's going to be on medical leave for a while, and he's in our office every day helping people. So he won't be in the office for a while, and we don't know quite sure when he's coming back. Harold also has been out of the office with some medical issues, and so he's been keeping up really well on all of the maintenance, but please understand that we may not be able to turn things around quite as quickly as we have in the past. We have a new person who Mark has accepted coming in on Thursdays. I come in on Tuesdays. And so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Harold has been covering. George has been in there every day. But during the summer months, maybe we can do with a little less. But I would really ask for anyone in the audience who can come in and help with some of the issues that we deal with the walk-in clients. Like today, when I was simply running the anti-spyware, Malwarebytes, Wise Disk Cleaner to clean up what he had and to help him out of the situation, and noticed at the same time that he had an extra application that when we looked at it, it said, and it probably is taking over your computer and is not something you want, and we got rid of it. So people that can do that level of help, please come into the office and volunteer. If you want to send us an email to volunteer, do cccgcoffice@gmail.com and send us a note saying what days that you would be able to come in. That would give us awful lot of help. The refurbishing and tear down during the summer months, we don't have quite the same need. And Lydia is also on medical leave. She has been having some medical issues. So we have several people that are down, and so we need to have new people coming in to help us out. Instructors, presenters, we always need people that can be willing to share their expertise and would like to come in and help us to present a session like tonight or work on a Q&A. Mark has also started giving classes. Rose has classes a couple of times a month. I have a class on the second Tuesday of every month. And if you look at our calendar, you'll be able to see who's giving instruction, whether it's in the office in Zoom, or just on Zoom, and who the instructor is and what the topic is. Our membership benefits, I've gone through this slide a number of times, but we have an awful lot of things that are free with your membership. Free technical support, free instruction, free updates for your malware and so forth, and our drawings that we have. And I would like to ask you, as a personal request, that you spread the word. Go out to Nextdoor, and you can do Nextdoor through your PC, through your smartphone on either iOS or Android, and download the app or go to the website and tell people about CCCGC and what benefits it is to, what you're getting out of being a member. That would help us an awful lot in growing our membership. Okay, favorites. George is up.
If I can make one comment, you're talking about the viruses, the new viruses coming out, and shut down your machine. The sooner you do it, the better. If you don't, you could lose 5% of everything you have, 10%, 20, 40, or 100%. There's only one thing that's could save you is backing up your system. We have a class every month. I'll be teaching it this month yet on backing up your system. And we would ask you, if you're planning on attending the class, to please go to our website. On the top of our website, there is a little menu to sign up for the class. This does two things. It tells us how many seats we have to have in the room, and if anyone is showing up. And with the gas price and everything, if no one signs up, it's yeah, there it is right there. All you have to do is put down your name, email, and phone number, and the date and time of the class. The reason we ask that is if something would happen and the teacher wouldn't make it, we'd be able to contact you so that you don't waste gas coming down. And we would love to see you in the classes. I don't know how many times someone came up to me and says, I lost everything in my computer, and I had 33,000 photos of my kids and grandkids. Now I got nothing. That could all be solved by just backing up your system. Okay, and we're going to start on our favorite of the day. And I just wanted to mention that this favorite of the day was submitted from one of our members. And we would love to have more submissions of everybody has something little unique that they found on the computer and would like to, if you'd like to share it, send us an email and we would be able to put it up. This month it's called Zybrary. It has 10 million articles for free and tons of books, and you can download them onto Kindle, or you can do them as a PDF. My favorite is the PDF because it's a little more permanent and you can send them to everybody.
So you can download the book to your computer, you can save it forever. I personally
For free.
For free, that's great. We use the Charlotte County Library System, cloud library. I think that's a great way to do your ebooks.
Okay, and we're ready for the first presentation. Oh, go ahead.
I've got, you can use that as library as a guest, and you can do 5 daily downloads. If you try to do more than that, then they want to charge you. There's a basic one for free, and you can actually do more downloads, but you have to sign in. You don't have to sign in for the guest. You can just download it kind of incognito. If you want to really have a lot of downloads, $999 daily. I don't think I'll ever get that one. See, I see that many words. No, I don't have that many words either. Okay, so now we're ready for the presentation. So I'm going to turn this over to Mark.
3 problems seniors have with email. For the winter over the past 10 years, I've lived in a resort in Arizona for the winter. I was involved with our computer club and did a lot of tech support over those 10 years. And every year the same problems occurred as people came from northern United States and Canada. In fact, it was so bad that we used to make bets on Who is going to be the first person coming in October with an email problem? They couldn't get their email. Today we're going to talk about 3 problems seniors have with email. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we make videos about seniors' issues. Today we're going to talk about problems seniors have with email. I'm going to talk about the 3 major issues, and then we're going to talk about past, present, and future. So let's get on with it. But remember, if you want to be notified as new videos come out, you hit that subscribe button at the bottom, and over on the right, hit the notification bell, and we'll notify you when a new video comes out. All right, let's get on with it and look at email and seniors. The 3 problems seniors have with email are the following. The first problem is they often use legacy systems. These are often old systems that have been around a long time because, of course, seniors have been around a long time. They've probably had their email service since the start of email. And a lot of these are old POP3 accounts. They're often used with their local ISP providers, and they're very reluctant to change. Which is the second problem seniors have, is they're often very reluctant to change the system they have. There's the fear of the unknown. In fact, most email now is used by seniors and less by younger people as we move into text messaging and certainly messaging services. And well, it's a good problem. They get to travel. They've got some affluence now. They're enjoying life and they want to travel. Well, then they can't get their email as they travel. Big problem that we saw in Mesa, Arizona, as people tried to come down for the winter months and couldn't get their email. This was a big eye-opener and a big complex problem, but we're going to talk about that today. And I want to sort of go over the past, present, and future of email. About 15 years ago or more, 3 large companies that control most of the email in the world got together to form a consortium. That would be Apple, Google, and Microsoft. They realized that at that time there was about 90% of email traffic was spam. If they got above 95%, then email as we know it today would be unusable. In other words, you would be getting, if we didn't have the spam filters in place, you would be getting so much email it would be non-usable. They got together and formed a consortium and put in place very tight spam filters to control the rapid proliferation of spam. And today they've held it at 95%, but that's a bit dicey right now. But they do make email still usable. Now, the second thing that happened in the past is that hard drive space was cheap, cloud space was expensive. So we had what we call POP3 accounts. When you wanted your email, you just downloaded it onto your computer. When you wanted to send an email, you uploaded it to the cloud and it was sent. Today, in modern email that we use what we call IMAP. This is where cloud storage is cheaper than computer storage, so we store it all in the cloud. This makes it accessible to all your computers that you have. As you know, if you log on to your Gmail account, you can do that across multiple computers because it's stored in the cloud. So today, the bulk of email traffic around the world is controlled through these massive spam filters to allow email to be usable. This does cause problems if you have old legacy systems or if you have your email with a local ISP provider. Currently in Canada and the United States, the email providers are certainly changing. We're seeing a number of internet providers getting rid of their email services. Email services can be complicated to run. You're not making money on them, and they have to provide elaborate tech support. Examples of this have been in Canada. Of course, there was TELUS, a big international telco company, who gave up their email last year to Gmail. We're seeing in the United States many companies such as AT&T selling off their email services. As you know, I watch a weekly show called a national syndicated show with Leo Laporte called The Tech Guy. It is very common now when people will be phoning in saying they just don't get their email anymore, and they're wondering why that occurs. And we're seeing this exponentially as this big change occurs. Now, this is a slide that I made back in 2015. This was, of course, the big hack that occurred with Yahoo, and over 1 billion accounts got hacked. This was the start of the downfall of Yahoo. As you know, Microsoft was prepared to buy Yahoo for $44.6 billion. The board of directors refused that, and ultimately Verizon bought it at a bankruptcy sale for $4.48 billion in June of 2017. Now, in the process of that occurring, they were able to open the books and have a look at Yahoo's email service. They found that the service was so bad that they went back to the judge who was doing the bankruptcy sale and said, we want a further $350 million off. The judge reviewed the information and said, you're right, it is terrible. The security was awful. So they indeed did allow $350 million to be withdrawn from the offer. Verizon got the email service, had it for about 3 or 4 years, and quickly sold it. Since then, it's been sold 3 or 4 times, and the rumor has it now that it's owned by the Chinese and that they are busily scanning all the email going through their servers. So if you are under the mistaken belief that because you have a Yahoo account, it was like the good old days, that is not true. It's like having a very sophisticated security system in your house and leaving the front door open. So if you do have a Yahoo email service, you should stop using it and get rid of it soon. In fact, my advice would be, with the tremendous changes occurring, is you should stick with one of the big 3 IMAP services. You can either use the Apple iCloud service, you can use Gmail, or you can use, of course, Microsoft Outlook or their Hotmail services. Those are all well protected and within the environment of the spam filters. So what about the future of email? Well, certainly the email providers are going to change rapidly over the next few years. I think this is going to cause chaos and problems if you're not with one of the big 3 that we've mentioned. The advantages of the big 3 are that you should be able to get your email no matter where you travel in the world. Also, the email systems they have developed integrate into their ecosystem and operating systems within the environment you're using their software. So you may want to look at that as well. However, as evidenced by a lady who had problems getting her Gmail. She couldn't get Gmail and she had no help from Google. She got so frustrated, she went down to Santa Clara, California, and she sat on the front steps of Google's big head office and banged on the door. She did this all morning and no one let her in. Very frustrated, she left, but not before the television cameras were there. So it is difficult if you have problems and you have no support. For this reason, I'm so happy that Mike Ungerman is going to talk today on Proton Mail. Proton Mail gets rid of a lot of the problems we've discussed today. It's an international company, it's very secure, and it provides excellent support. I think that this is one time in email's history where we really have to look at a safe, secure email system with good support. I want to thank Mike for doing this today and talking about Proton Mail. Let's see what he has to say.
I'm Mike Ungerman, a member of the Central Florida Computer Society. Today, I'd like to talk about Proton Mail, a secure cloud-based email system. There are a number of alternatives to maintaining and managing email than using the email provided by your internet service provider. In discussions in this and other online discussions among user group members or seniors, we have talked about the advantage of having a cloud-based email system such as Gmail, AOL Mail, etc., especially if one travels away from their desktop computer and wants to stay current in their correspondence. Proton Mail provides an alternative to your ISP's email and a more private and secure email alternative to the big tech services. They've been shown to track your correspondence, perhaps not actually reading your correspondence, but keeping metadata, which may then be used for marketing purposes. And in societies that are not free, some governments may do more than just track metadata, and that is where a secure encrypted email system may have significant advantages. This is the website of protonmail.com. From here, you can learn more about the applications and the company. We'll look at the detail from a few pages on this site. Located in Switzerland, they state that they are scientists, engineers, and developers drawn together by a shared vision of protecting civil liberties online. They go on to state that Proton Mail is easy to use, secure email service with built-in end-to-end encryption and state-of-the-art security features. The company's goal is to build an internet that respects privacy and is secure against cyber attacks. The founding team of Proton Mail met at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, and one of the world's largest and most respected centers for scientific research. From those beginnings, they have become the world's largest secure email provider with over 1 million users. Their growth has been supported by more than 10,000 individuals from around the world who participated in their record-breaking crowdfunding campaign. Proton Mail offers end-to-end encryption. Messages are encrypted at all times. Messages are stored on Proton Mail servers in encrypted format. They are also transmitted in encrypted format between their servers and user devices. Messages between Proton Mail users are also transmitted in encrypted form within their secure server network. Because data is encrypted at all steps, the risk of message interception is largely eliminated. In the example on the right, both Bob and Alice are Proton Mail users. Bob originates an email to Alice. The email client recognizes Alice as a Proton Mail user and knows her public key to encrypt the message which Bob is about to send to her. As a result, the message can only be decrypted by the corresponding private key in Alice's account. Once Bob sends the message to Proton Mail servers, the server never sees the original plain text that Bob composed. Once Bob sends that Bob composed, the email continues on from Proton Mail servers to Alice's account, where her private key decrypts Bob's message, and she then reads the plain text displayed to her. Once on Proton Mail servers, the data sent by the client is inaccessible to anyone except the destination recipient using a Proton Mail client. There is no ability to decrypt the emails while on their servers, and thus, even if subpoenaed by any authority, the data is not capable of being decrypted. They state, with Proton Mail, privacy isn't just a promise, it's mathematically ensured. Proton Mail uses hardware-level security with full disk encryption and storage in secure data centers. They utilize their own server hardware so that no third-party cloud sites are used for storage. Their data centers are physically located at highly secure sites that require biometric access. On a system level, their servers utilize fully encrypted hard disks with multiple password layers so that data security is preserved even if the hardware was compromised or seized. Proton Mail service does not track or log emails, so no personally identifiable information can be gathered from emails sent through their system. With self-destructing email capability, encrypted emails sent either to another Proton Mail user or encrypted with a password and received by a non-Proton Mail address may be automatically deleted after received. SSL for secure communication between Proton's mail servers and your computer or mobile devices adds another layer of security, preventing a third party from intercepting your traffic with a so-called man-in-the-middle attack. A Proton Mail user can send an encrypted email to a non-Proton Mail user, ensuring full end-to-end encryption of sensitive communications. Each email sent in this way can be decrypted with an agreed-to password that can be exchanged with the recipient. Users who use email clients such as Microsoft Outlook, Mozilla Thunderbird, and Apple's Mail can still obtain and use a Proton Mail account and install the Proton Mail Bridge, which will allow your email client to send and receive emails through the Proton Mail system. Proton Mail Bridge is available on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Proton Mail is designed to be easy to use, whether on a computer or a mobile device. As a cloud-based email service, it's accessible from almost any computer browser and has apps for Android and Apple mobile devices. When considering changing from one email system to another, a common concern is how easy it will be to set up the new system and import information from the old system. The developers of Proton Mail designed a software function called Easy Switch, which can import emails from your current provider. If you use Google's email, it can also import your contacts and calendar. Proton Mail's business plan is designed for user support on a monthly basis, even though an account can be opened for free with limited features available. With a free account, you get all of the capabilities of a fully secure email system with end-to-end encryption of email as previously discussed. A limited number of emails can be sent and received on a daily basis with 500 megabytes of storage. For those people who rarely use their email or want a second email account for limited emails or even a throwaway email address, free account may be all you need. I chose to obtain a professional account at Proton Mail for approximately $6.74 a month. I continue to use Proton Email Client with expanded storage, unlimited emails sent and received daily, unique email addresses, and the potential for multiple user accounts. Additional features will be discussed in the following slides. At the time I enrolled in Proton Mail, a Plus account was available, which bundled Proton Mail Plus with Proton VPN Plus. I have only one user on this account, but up to now 6 email addresses and a custom domain. My storage space has also been expanded to 6 gigabytes. So my current Proton Mail costs me about $7.93 a month, with the largest discount being applied to the Proton VPN Edition and an additional gigabyte of storage. One of the biggest features for me is the ability to have multiple email addresses, which all come to the same email account and then can be filtered and filed appropriately. A short form of the same address can also be enabled, even made the default if you like, MikeU18@pm.me, for example. Recently, Proton Mail added on a 6th email address option at no additional cost, MikeU18@proton.me. I have since added an address for all the online ordering I make, an address for the political sites that I follow, an address for my old ComputerSys company for registering for computer-related correspondence, and an address for my veterans correspondence. I haven't used the free email domain yet, but I could set up a mikeungerman.com if it's not already been used, and the cost of doing so is already included in the plan I'm paying for now. Here's the web-based email client as it appears in my Brave browser on my Windows computer. It's essentially the same in any browser I have tested in Windows or Linux. It should be the same on a Mac. As with most browser email clients, the usual functions are outlined in red in the left column, as is the listing of received emails in my inbox. The group of 9 dots in a square is the icon for additional features of the Proton Mail system up here at the top. Continuing to scroll down the left column reveals the folders that I have set up in the paid account. Selecting the top level folder reveals the emails in that folder and the subfolders that are also available. In addition to folders and subfolders, labels can be applied as a further aid in categorizing your email. The only limitation to a label is that I can't have the same name as a folder. Here I have clicked on the Linux label, which shows me one of the emails with Linux applied as a label. Contacts are stored and available from the contacts icon, the head and shoulders icon shown here, third from the right at the top. The display is shown in alphabetical order and also shows the group designation I have made for several of them. Emails can be addressed to a group as well as individuals. In the previous screen, Proton Mail alerted me that I have individuals that may be the same person and provides a way to merge those contacts as shown. You can delete or merge and choose the primary email to use for the resulting contact. Here are examples of some of the groups I have set up for my contacts. Here I have chosen to compose a new message. My default email is shown in the From field, and my signature for that default email is already added to the editor. I can click on the drop-down symbol and get other email addresses in my account if I wish to change the originating email address. Most of the other functions for composing or reading email is similar to just about any other email client, so I won't go into a full tutorial mode. However, I'd like to show you some of the other apps that come with the paid accounts. As I mentioned before, the 9 dots icon brings up the additional Proton Mail apps that are available: Proton Calendar, Proton Drive, and Proton VPN. Proton Calendar is unique in that the data that is displayed on the calendar background is stored and transferred from one's client to their server in the same encrypted format as emails, with the same protection at the Proton Mail facilities. Only a user with an active Proton Mail calendar application can view and edit the calendar. The calendar can import or export entries in ICS format compatible with Outlook's calendar. If you have the Proton Mail calendar app installed on your mobile device, alerts can be generated for activities there as well as on your computer. Proton Drive is a cloud drive that makes use of the overall storage one has in their paid plan. If you look at the bottom left of the column, you can see that it is showing me that I have used about 1/3 of my storage space, primarily from email storage that has not yet been archived or deleted. And the installation program for an old version of Quicken that I wanted to put up in the cloud and access on a Linux computer to see if I could make a Windows program run under Linux. Given the space limitations, I see it of value only to share uploads by sending someone a link to download the files. As with other Proton Mail products, the data uploaded to the drive is encrypted and stored on the server encrypted. As you saw earlier, I included the Pro version of Proton VPN in my Proton Mail Plus package. There is a free version of Proton VPN, which is full-featured in how it installs and functions. The paid version adds additional security and transmission methods and more high-speed servers around the world. Note that Proton VPN apps are available for most computers and mobile devices. So I hope that this overview of Proton Mail system has been of value to you. I believe that Proton Mail is a better alternative for all of my email communications, as well as some of my personal information management with their calendar, contacts management, cloud drive, and VPN. Most significantly for me, I have been able to remove my email communications from big tech's oversight, a major goal I have set for most of my dealing with online activities.
Thank you, Mike. That was great.
I want to make a couple of comments about Proton Mail. You heard that you have to have a key for the sender, and the person receiving it has to have a key. They have to both be Proton clients. If they are not both Proton clients, then the recipient's not going to be able to read it. So it has to go through another authorization level, which just makes things frustrating. So Proton Mail is not something that we would recommend for 99.9% of our members, but there may be a member someplace in our audience that that probably isn't here tonight, that is very concerned about security and would want to have both ends encrypted. It does mean that the recipient also has to have that same service. just be aware of when you say you want it secure end to end, you really are holding yourself in their clause. So yeah, it is totally encrypted, and nobody can see it except the person sending and receiving, but it does limit your capabilities. Okay, let's. Oh, yeah, he made a very big thing about Yahoo not being something that you want to use. I still use Yahoo, and it will probably continue to be my email client. Reason why, I had a request, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, maybe a week ago, that said, gee, I'm looking for such and such information and I can't find it. I couldn't find it on my computer, but I remembered I had sent that information via an email years and years ago. And I looked it up on Yahoo and I still can get to it. So I have a history from mid 1990s with Yahoo, and a whole bunch of emails that are stored for free out in the cloud. Not a whole lot of information that I am concerned about keeping private, but it's out there on an email if I need to access it. And I don't, I can look it up by a number of different ways. I can look it up by who I sent it to. I can look it up by the subject matter, content, whatever. So I'm going to continue using Yahoo Mail, and I don't know for sure whether it's owned by China now. I know that China is looking at a lot of email traffic and a lot of internet traffic. I don't think they're too much interested in me, though. They're probably going to be more interested in big business and places where they can make money. They're not going to make any money off of me. So I'm continuing to use Yahoo. Okay. Want to turn it back over to me and then? Yes. Okay. Let's talk about that after the session tonight, and we'll bring that up. We'll make it a discussion topic for my class next Tuesday or for next month's meeting. Okay. But we will get to that subject. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again, and okay, I guess that's not me. There we go. Okay, it's time for the drawing. You have the tickets right behind you. George, the tickets are right behind you. Yeah. Or Mary, you want to? Mary's going to do it. Yeah. Oh, yes. If your name is called or your number is called, please wait until after or at the end of the meeting. Come down at that point, give your name and select, get your card and so forth. And Rose will take pictures.
1, 2, 1.
Oh, Carolyn. Good. Okay. After when. Okay. Brox, Brox. This is Charlie's. We're going home.
1, 1, 4, 2.
Oh. Okay.
One, four.
1144. Left early? Oh, you're gotta be kidding. Okay. Okay. Okay, next drawing is for the 50/50, which tonight is $16. Yeah.
Okay, last four, 5057. 5057.
Blue ticket. Okay,
Speaker on the computer and students. Stop. Lost, COSC, Marvin. Thank you.
okay, very good. So do we have any more questions before we end the meeting tonight? If not, we will see you on August the 2nd. Thank you very much for coming. One more comment.
We changed things a little bit on the door prizes. The door prizes now, we were doing Walmart and Winn-Dixie. We are now doing American Express gift cards, which are good any place. They're $25 cards.
Okay, thank you very much.